And welcome back to the Constitutional Podcast. Constitutionals, yes, there's an S in there. The premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. All right, we're in a new configuration. There is the recycling truck outside as well. So two things are happening. Two giant major things. Oh, hey, let me start the timer. You know, it's confusing when you fix things up, when you change things around, and things are happening. Waiting on maintenance to come change light bulbs, because how dare I do it when I pay this much? This is the most Karen thing anyone can say. The most Karen thing. Episode 196. I just finished eating an apple. A delicious apple, probably the size of a baby's head. Probably, truly, the size of this UE Boom Wonder Boom 2 speaker I have. Yeah, it was about this size because it took like the entire width of my hand. And I've got giant hands. If you do hear the recycling truck outside, know that I did sit down and I turned the camera on and I went, and they pulled up as soon as I started, as soon as I pressed record, and I said, I'm just going to go through with this because it is 2:00 and I want to get this done. 1:58, but whatever. Sitting here, so I ate the apple. You gotta eat that apple meat. Gotta get right in that apple meat. Eat that apple meat, and you're real good. Nova, her whereabouts are currently in the bedroom. I was at PetSmart. Jesus, if you can hear it, it's so loud. Imagine hearing it in person. They're right outside, 4 floors down, right on the street. Too much information. And so I went to PetSmart this week. I've been giving Nova Ideal Weight Purina One canned wet food. I give her half a can, and then I give her. Oh, they're finally gone. And then I give her about maybe way too much kibble, like a fourth of a cup. But then like a little bit less than that. It's too much. I've already calculated the kcals. I know I'm not supposed to give her that much, but I just have to, or else she complains. And this week she's been acting a little bit slower, and by that I mean she's been so sad and depressed, and I think I'm rubbing off on her. So what I've been doing. That's true. I can rub it over. So she's been like sad and stuff. So I bought her a bunch of toys, and she's not been playing with her toys all week. I have to throw them at her, and she'll like swat at them, and then she'll stop, and she just wants to go out on the porch and hang out. So I bought one of those magic mesh screen doors, which is a very, 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 very cheaply made mosquito net with I would say mosquito nets are better made than this, with magnets in the middle so you can walk through, but also keep like your screen door open or your porch door open. So I bought that for her so I could keep an eye on her outside without having to close the door, without having to worry about bugs coming in or something. And again, this thing is so cheap. The magnets are already coming off. I just opened it. The magnets are coming off. And I would venture to say that bugs are probably still getting in. But it's nice to have to, just to peek my head outside, instead of having to look through the window or open the door itself, like keep continuously opening the door for her and stuff like that. So I keep it open the door open a little bit now, but she's getting better, so she's in the bedroom because I bought at PetSmart. They had a carpeted a carpeted scratching post. Instead of, I think it was like, $15-20, it was on clearance. They were trying to clear it out. It was like $7, $6-7. So I said, might as well. And I bought that for her, put it in the bedroom. She has all week, she's been eating. She's been doing everything. She's been pooping. Her poops are great. Poops are wonderful. She's been doing everything well. It's just the fact that, she has just been so sad. So, I have an Apple subscription. Oh, never mind. Okay, it was for something else. So she's been feeling sad, and so anyway, I put that in the bedroom, and she'll come into the bedroom in the middle of the night and sleep with me. Just this week, she's been, I guess, like she's been trying to make me feel better, and she's used up all her energy. But one night she discovered that. She discovered it was over there, sniffed it, started scratching on it, and now she sleeps next to it. Takes a little nap throughout the day here and there. She has not been on top of the couch or on top of the futon like she usually hangs out, because I guess she gets to go outside now. So there's that. Now she has 2 scratching posts, so she doesn't have to scratch. Oh, and in my bedroom, she was scratching the frame of my bed, which is the reason why, second reason I bought that. And I also bought a cat tunnel, which she does not like. Cats are so hard to choose for. This is why everybody likes dogs, because they're easy. Let's get to today's topics. You can't see the pants I'm wearing. They can't see the parents I'm wearing. You can't see the pants I'm wearing, which is nice. Camera's closer, so I can just lean over and turn it back on if I need to. Yeah, there we go. That's it. If you're watching the video, you see it's different. If you're listening to audio, you don't know a gosh darn thing. Okay. First things first. Recipes, Uncle Phil. Something happened in the streaming world that I'm so excited about that I just can't even put into words how excited I am. This comes from Gizmodo, written by Katie Keck. With ESPN Plus now on Hulu, it really is the best all-around streaming service. Now, I don't like saying best streaming service, all that stuff, but it's fairly easy to see that I prefer Hulu over everything else, because Hulu was the first one I had. But anyway, Hulu's great. Hulu's wonderful. I think, one of the few things that came out of this merger with Disney and 20th Century Fox that I enjoy. One of the and it's only just like a handful of things, because they did let go of 50,000 people, 75,000, an insane amount of people. That is including the Disney parks and stuff. But I'm also including, the people that everybody from the Disney parks all the way up to corporate. People, it's hard out there to get a job, and trust me, I know, because I am in it. So the merger really did bring about a central line for Hulu. Now, I do think that in the coming years, Hulu or ESPN Plus will be phased out. I don't think Disney's going to keep, because Netflix is domineering with one $15 subscription. Disney has 3 different $7 subscriptions, or you can get them all in the package for I think it's $18 now. And eventually that's going to go up to 21 at some point. But I don't see them continuing on with 3 things, with 3 tiers, with three different things. I see Peacock phasing out at some point. We'll get to that in a second. But Hulu, Disney announced this late 2020 that ESPN Plus will be available inside of Hulu if you have ESPN Plus. And this week it was made possible. They talked about it apparently at their investor meeting or analyst number night, whatever, streaming night, whatever, on Wednesday. And then it popped up on Thursday. Today, Friday? So it popped up. It was Tuesday, then it popped up on Wednesday. And I had no clue until I saw an article, and I went, "Excuse me?" and immediately rushed to Hulu. And yes, it is there. Now, you don't get the ESPN proper. You don't get ESPN or ESPN2. You don't get any of the channels. You just get ESPN Plus stuff, which includes the live games that aren't on television, and also 30 for 30 and other documentaries and stuff, E60, all that other stuff, which I did not understand. I kept going between the ESPN app and Hulu, ESPN Plus on Hulu, and I went, "What's going on? How come this is getting the Vanderbilt game and this is only getting Kansas City State Arena?" And I couldn't figure it out. And then I went, "Oh, wait a minute. One of them I sign in with YouTube TV, and the other one I don't." So it makes a ton more sense. And yeah, so I think I 100% think Hulu's the best one. Disney Plus did pass the milestone of 100 million subscribers, which is fantastic for them. And congratulations. But continuing on with the streaming thing, Warner Media, speaking of 100 million subscribers, they set a new goal. This comes from The Wrap. Tony Maglio, AT&T to launch ad-supported HBO Max in June sets much loftier subscriber goal. So when HBO Max launched about a year ago, almost a year ago, 2 months it'll be a year ago, I believe. No one could have first. Everybody was talking smack about it. They're confused. Oh, HBO Go. Where's HBO Go going to go to? What's HBO Now? What's this and what's that? Roku doesn't. It's not on Roku yet. It's going to fail. You forget the power of HBO. HBO is a name that people care about. Truly, if this was Showtime or Starz, great, fine, whatever. Then they already do have their own streaming services. So HBO launched, and AT&T was very bullish about how it was going to be, how good it was going to go, even during a pandemic. People are at home; they want their HBO. Even during the pandemic, they were very they were like, they're gung ho about it. They're gung. And something I like about Warner, even though they won't hire me, please hire me. I need money and a job and time and stuff. But to be creative. But even though they're coming out at a time when there was free services like Peacock and new services like Apple TV Plus and Disney Plus that are dominating, they came out and they said, I think it was Jason Kilar who said, "Hey, we're not looking to be the next Netflix. We're looking to be HBO. We're looking to be Warner's hub." And you know what? They do it well. I do like HBO Max a lot. About 120 to 150 million worldwide HBO Max and HBO subscribers should be on the services by the end of 2025. That forecast used to be 75 to 90 million. They're growing so fast. Look at Netflix. Look at Disney Plus. They're growing so fast. Don't compare. We're not comparing. This isn't an IGN gaming podcast where they, particularly Podcast Beyond, where they compare PlayStation sales to every other console. Like that matters. AT&T ended 2020 with about 61 million combined HBO and HBO Max subs. The company expects to have 67 to 70 million by the end of 2021. Oh, I think they could. Those are very small numbers. I think they can expect more than that, especially if they continue this same day and date BS that they're doing. Now, continuing off that, there's a separate article I have from The Wrap about the ad-supported HBO version, which will come in June. Written by Tim Basinger, HBO content will remain commercial-free in ad-supported version of HBO Max. So we knew this ad-supported version was going to be coming. And it's going to be cheaper. We don't know how much cheaper, but it's going to be cheaper. I am suspecting if Peacock is free, $5 and $7 for the ad-supported and non-ad-supported. Oh, the camera just turned off. For the ad-supported and non-ad-supported versions, then I suspect it will be roughly, let's say $9.99 or $15. Of course, they're not going to have advertising in HBO series. Said Jason Kilar is the Warner Media CEO. I think. Oh, and there's also not going to be the theatrical day and date premieres. So you won't be able to watch Tom and Jerry or Mortal Kombat or, God, what is the name of that movie I want to see so badly? Godzilla versus King Kong. The one movie I want to see out of all that. Oh, and Justice League. But you'll be able to watch that. Let's see, the advertising. From what I can gather, and I think they'll probably have commercials before and after things. Yeah. Oh, and then also in June, same time the ad-supported version of HBO Max comes out, AT&T is going to roll HBO Max out in 60 markets outside of the U.S., which is huge. The mic is coming untethered from the desk because it doesn't really fit on the desk. So there we go. HBO, Warner Media, you're doing well. Now, AT&T, please sell Warner Media to a better company. Listen, we're going to take a break. Oops. And when we come back, hopefully more video because the camera is off. Ooh, we're back, baby. Welcome back. Episode 196, the Constitutionals Podcast. I just decided to use the webcam again. Be as professional as possible here. What else is going on? Reached my 10,000 step goal already. If that's interesting to anybody. It's not. It shouldn't be. I don't know why it is. I'm sorry. I'm moving things around inside of the Notion app so that I can put these things up with one fell swoop. Is it fell or fell? I got a new light bulb for the because I was like, hey, let me get a smart bulb. Let me try one of these out. Got a cheap one from Casa, it's a TP-Link company. Poor man's Philips Hue bulb, $15 instead of the $30 or $60 that one is for Philips Hue. It's great. It's not as bright as a daylight bulb or a regular light bulb, but it does its function. In fact, I can turn on the light. I can turn off this light right now. Turn on the light on the whatchamacallits. And hold on, I forgot to start the timer. See, this is what happens when things don't work. All right, so I turn off the light. If you're watching the video, you will see the desk light turn on. Boom, light me up perfectly. Actually, wow, looks really nice. You can change the color to, ooh, look at me, incandescent. I can change it to red, vermilion. Oh, it's just so lovely. Hey, maybe I'll just leave this on because this lit me up really well. Oh God, now it's too bright. Episode 196, Constitutionals Podcast, turning off the light. Oh, let's see. Okay. Leaving it on because it looks way better. 196. Let's hop into the next story. This comes from Bloomberg, BuzzFeed. Oh, God. Okay. It's a Bloomberg story, and I thought it told me I don't have any more reads left. BuzzFeed is in talks to go public via 890 Fifth Avenue SPAC. Okay. Written by Gillian Tan. BuzzFeed Inc., the digital media outlet founded in 2006, oh my God, is in talks to go public through a merger with 890 Fifth Avenue Partners, Inc., a special purpose acquisition company, SPAC. Once public, the company may use its currency to target future acquisitions. The transaction value couldn't immediately be learned. As with any deal that has been finalized, its possible terms change or talks fall apart. Oh, its possible terms change or talks fall apart. So we've seen a lot of companies use SPACs before. I don't know if anything of this entertainment worthy has used a SPAC. You know, I was watching Squawk Box this week. Roblox went public, the video game Roblox. And I think that's so interesting to me that Roblox thought it would have, and it nearly doubled, prices nearly doubled in its debut from like 45 to like 70 or 80, something like that per share. And I think that's just so interesting that Roblox of all games, like, you know, I would think that Epic would go public. Epic Games should go public. EA is public, and I think they're only trading at like $20-something. I've been following them for years. But I mean, you know, Roblox is more than a game; it's a platform for kids to do whatever kids do, play video games without, the threat of of like an adult messing with them, even though it's all kids that mess with adults on what's it called on online. Oh, and also I learned this week that BuzzFeed is laying off a bunch of HuffPost people. Puff pizza blah 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 go. And it also laid off people from its company in November or fall of last year. As part of the HuffPost deal, Verizon acquired a majority stake in BuzzFeed that valued the company about $1.7 billion. That's roughly the same as the valuation in 2016 when NBC Universal invested $200 million in the business. That's about it. They're getting this valuation. They're heading to the market with with the help of some type of SPAC merger thing. Being bought out really did wonders for them. Being bought out by Verizon. Yeah, and you think that that's what I mean. That obviously that's what every other company that gets that sells itself wants. But I think it's interesting that not even Vice, people pulled out of Vice so quickly. Pulled out of Vice whenever they had the first chance. And Vice had so many. Vice is like a millennial NPR. It had so many investors in it, and then one by one, Disney pulls out, and then this next company pulls out, the next company, and now Vice, everything left and right. The TV show's getting canceled on HBO, but then it gets picked up to Showtime. The network's not doing as well as it should. It truly is not. This last one comes from Variety, Rebecca Rubin. Los Angeles movie theaters could open as soon as Saturday. So last week it was said, the great Andrew Cuomo. I don't know if it was Cuomo or de Blasio from New York that said it was fine for theaters to open again. And it seems to be, for what it's worth, doing well. Let's see. New York theaters open. I spelled open with an I, an O, an E, and an N. In that order. Yeah, this is from CNBC. Movie theaters open in New York City in March at 25% capacity. Sarah Whitten, Noah Higgins, done. So they opened last week, March 5th. And it was Cuomo who said that. Boy, he's in a bunch of trouble lately, isn't he? Hey, Johnny? Yes, it's me, Johnny Carson. Oh my God, Johnny, how are you doing? I'm doing well. Dead. Oh my God. Ed? Yeah, I sound like this for some reason. Ed. Well, you guys, I got a show to do. So go sit down. Go sit down over there. And what are you guys doing in New York? Why do I think this is New York? I don't know. But let me tell you a story. Betty White and I were smoking a joint. I don't know. All right. I was ripping off Never Not Funny there. So New York movie theaters open at 25%. Barclays Center and Madison Square Garden are allowing limited number of fans for basketball games. And masks are required. No more than 50 people per screening of a movie. Assigned seating, social distancing, staff to control occupancy, traffic and seating to ensure compliance. Again, from Cuomo. I touch dames. Oh, you look so sexy. Why don't you give me a kiss? That's my Cuomo. It sounds nothing like him, but man, oh man, it's New York specific. So moving back to LA County. They're opening this Saturday. That's what the hope is. Even though, so they've met several requirements apparently for the COVID vaccine. Distributed 2 million vaccine doses to underserved populations, and have fewer than 10 new cases a day per 100,000 people. Newsom's in trouble too. Why do they want him to resign? I think he's doing a better job than Cuomo, and we don't praise him like the way Cuomo was praised throughout 2020. When they do get the green light, multiplexes in the country's most populous county, I like counting, will be able to operate at 25% or 100 people, whichever is less. Just look at whichever is less. Gyms and indoor dining at limited capacity will also be included as California moves into the red tier. Well, I mean, now that movie theaters are going to open, it's going to be great for people to finally see Tenet the way it was meant to be seen. I watched a video just before, while I was eating my apple. While I was eating my baby head. Oh, God. Giant apple. I watched a video by a guy on YouTube named Wolf Den, and he put Tenet onto Game Boy Advance cartridges. Now, if you know Game Boy Advance, it had a subgenre of cartridges where shows like Sonic X and the Fairly Odd Parents and All Grown Up and Dragon Ball, just Dragon Ball Z, I think, were put on these cartridges, 2 episodes at a time, highly compressed. The video looked horrible, but it was a cheap way to watch, your favorite shows. Cheap. I'm sure those cartridges were like $20. Anyway, he bought Tenet on 4K Blu-ray, shrank down that file, cut it up into 30-minute segments, shrank it down even more, and put it on these cartridges so he could play it on his Game Boy Advance SP. 5 different cartridges. I just think that's so interesting. It's so stupid. But now people can go to theaters and watch movies. Atlanta's been open for a little bit, and boy, is it bad. People walk around without masks. You give them an inch, they take a mile. That's a true statement, if there's ever been one. And I don't like it. And at my gym, I'm one of maybe, I would say, 8 people there total that wears a mask. And that's not even the same. Like, a lot of people don't come some mornings, or whatever. There's, let's say, like, there's like 100, 200 people sometimes, not at the same time, but like just let's say 100 different people throughout the week, different faces that I see. And it's horrible. It's horrible. So anyway, how long is this segment? 11 minutes. I think I've reached my time. Put on a mask, please. I just want to get this vaccine. And even still, I'm probably going to wear a mask for a little bit, because I got these gosh darn masks. Oh, the pool is open. No. I'm not doing that. It's not going to be that hot, guys. My gym, my complex just emailed me the pool's open. I'm not doing that. All right. There's nothing else going on. I watched the SpongeBob movie, the Sponge on the Run, and it just seemed like it was a way for the door to open to Camp Coral, because they kept hyping up, forget the show, forget Camp Coral. They kept hyping up that this is going to be, we're going to see how everybody met. This is going to be SpongeBob Camp Coral, blah, blah, blah. So you would assume that throughout the movie, you're going to flash back to how everybody met. Like, Steven Universe, the movie, which this is a trope I hate in the first place, but it was done so well in Steven Universe, the movie. I watched it, 3 times in a month, which is a lot for me. 3 times in like 3 months, actually. No, I think twice that first week. Anyway, doesn't matter. Who cares? So in the Steven Universe, the movie, 10 minutes in the movie, a villain comes and poofs the gyms and turns them and resets them essentially, and then Steven has to go out and go back to all three of the gyms that that's his family, and he has to go, hey, remember, we're friends, please come back to and help me, and all this stuff. And SpongeBob Camp Coral, or SpongeBob Under the Where the World is Gary, I don't know what it's called, Sponge on the Run, that's what it's called, and he's not on the run. Oh Jesus. Plankton gets Gary to be taken. He steals Gary and takes him to King Neptune, not Poseidon, because Poseidon's Jeffrey Tambor, and apparently we forget that SpongeBob has met the King of the Sea before. And also, SpongeBob, not very diverse, that show, nor the movies. A lot of white guys, a lot of white people in both of those things. Anyway, so in both the show and the movies. Anyway, and then eventually, 30 minutes into the movie, SpongeBob goes, and there's like an hour left, and it drags on forever. But it's better than the second one. And so SpongeBob and Patrick go to find Gary. And then Keanu Reeves is there for about 40 minutes. Too much, way too much. And then Mr. Krabs and Sandy and Plankton and Squidward all team up to go find SpongeBob. And then you get one flashback to Camp Coral, and then towards the end you get a second flashback to Camp Coral, and then that's it. That's all you get. And they all talk about how they met, and that was it. And then I watched the premiere of the show Camp Coral. It looks good. I think it looks great. I think they really did translate SpongeBob and his friends into 3D. It's a 3D CGI very well. It's a children's show. It is if Nick Jr. was still on, which I assume it is, not, then it is a Nick Jr. show. Just like Lion Guard is a Disney Junior show. That show is for kids. Muppet Babies for kids. I can't just sit around watching either of those. It's weird. All right, listen, I've been talking for long enough. If you like what you heard here, head to website cpluscomedy.com, where you can see me talk to comedians sometimes. Hasn't happened in a long time. I'll have it in a couple of months. Please reach out to me if you are a B-level comedian or above. If you want to see a video version of this show, head to youtube.com/cpluscomedy, where you can see me sitting in front of my laptop with my nice new haircut, baby. Also on youtube.com/cpluscomedy, you can see our premiere show, News Time, which has been coming out later in the week. I'm sorry, but it's hard to be enthused for 0 views, or 2 views, and they're both mine, and then 2 likes, and they're both from both my YouTube accounts. Anyway, it's like The Daily Show, except way less funny. This week's episode is about dump months and how January and February used to be dump months, and now they're not anymore. Dump months is a thing where movie studios will release a movie, Deadpool 1, Sonic the Hedgehog, Paddington, because they don't think they're going to do well, but then recently, that's why these months don't exist anymore. Recently, these movies have just been doing so well that it doesn't even matter. Dumb months don't even exist. And also streaming too, so it doesn't even matter. Check that out. Let's see. Twitter, Instagram at cpluscomedy. Me. Everywhere at Chad Black White. Like us on Facebook. Rate, review, subscribe. This show. Literally, wherever you get your podcast. I gotta go. I'm done. I gotta play the theme song. Jesus. See, this is what happens when you try to do something different. It just doesn't work out.